One day, while driving, Taylor responded to a text message from her mom. When Taylor looked up, she was hydroplaning and hit a 2-year-old child.
In Oakdale, California, a teenage girl named Amanda Clark was involved in an accident that should have changed her life for the better. Because she was texting at the time, she ran a stop sign and ended up rolling 3 times and was critically injured. After she got out of the hospital, she pledged to never use her phone while driving again. But almost exactly a year later, Amanda was texting once again and lost control of her car and crashed. This time, texting while driving killed her.
Liz Marks said she was in high school when she was involved in an accident caused by her reading a text from her mom while driving. The wreck left her behind in one eye and hard of hearing. She was left with diminished sense of smell, no longer can create tears or fall asleep without any medication.
In Minnesota, a 17-year-old driver named Carly killed a father and his 10-year-old daughter when she ran a red light due to texting.
In the UK, a 4-year-old toddler was hit and killed by a teenager who was texting and driving.
A driver who allegedly was texting behind the wheel hit a 7-year-old boy named Xavier. He dragged him nearly 20 feet in the process. The crash paralyzed Xavier, and he spent 4.5 months in intensive care unit. He will never walk again.
Gage Edwards was a high school football player who was coming home from a football game. He was texting and driving while speeding down the road. He was meeting his mother and girlfriend at the time and drifted into the center lane. He tried to swerve back but overcorrected and crashed head-on into 2 trees on the side of the road. After the accident, Gage was so badly damaged from the impact that no one could recognize who the driver was. His body was found 2 days after the crash, and his last text was IDK.
In 2017, a church minibus was hit by a truck. The driver was allegedly texting at the time of the crash, which killed 12 people and another person in the hospital.
The last thing Ashley Umshid did before her pickup flipped end over end, throwing her into a ditch, was tap a single letter on her phone, the letter K, short for OK. It was a reply to a text from her older sister on that spring day in 2009. Amanda Umshid didn't receive the message, and she never got to talk to Ashley again. The 19-year-old Kansas State University student died a few days later from injuries she suffered in the wreck.
On September 15, 2016, Gregory, who was 34 years old, was texting while driving, resulting in the death of his 9-year-old son Logan and injuring his parents and younger sister.
Ashley Umshid died in spring of 2009. She was 19 years old. The last thing Ashley did before her pickup flipped end over end, throwing her into a ditch, was type K. She went to Kansas State University and died a few days later due to injury.
In May of 2017, 25-year-old Natasha Boggs of New Franklin pleaded guilty to 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter, vehicle assault, and attempted tampering with evidence. She drove over the marked lanes on the side of the road, hitting 3 teenagers, killing 2 of them, and severely injuring the other while she was distracted by texting.
Keith Fern was texting on his phone when his pickup truck slammed into the back of a vehicle, killing 16-year-old Selena Apodaca, 13-year-old Isabella Severson, and injuring 3 others.